art also straight up copies the exact dialogue and performances, sometimes even the framing, so that in many instances this is a straight up line for line remake. You could almost have the original film play out side by side with the new one and see how close they are, which is literally what I'm doing right now in editing. It is almost a complete clone of the earlier work. And having endured the Disney remakes for so long, I think some people have forgotten what the purpose of a remake should actually be. There does seem to be some that seem to think the reason these remakes are bad is because they change things, and that fidelity is the sign of a good remake. On the contrary, the entire point for a remake is to try and change things. Sure, remakes can be bad when they change things poorly, but a remake that serves to be a copycat is an abject failure, because that movie already exists. There's a reason why Gus Van Sant's shot-for-shot Psycho was universally mocked and remains a byword for bad, unnecessary remakes. But try to think of some of the most notable and best movie remakes over the years. Things like Scarface, The Fly, The Thing, The Invisible Man, The Nutty Professor. Okay, I'm kind of joking about that last one. Or am I? The point is, though, these movies were bold reinventions of their predecessors, ones that were so successful that in several cases they supplanted their predecessors. They added fresh new angles on the original stories that expanded upon their core themes and ideas. And I personally would much rather have something that tried to do things differently and fail than not try at all. At least that thing has its own identity, something to set itself apart from the earlier movie. Movies are not sacred objects, they're stories, and we've iterated on stories from the moment we started telling them, but this cycle of hyper-faithful remakes and franchises repeating their old glories has created a worrying blockbuster stagnancy that this so-called new How to Train Your Dragon is at the forefront of. Movie executives are terrified of change, and even more so because there are vocal segments of the audience who are also terrified of anything changing in this perverse feedback loop. Remakes also serve to modernise and update stories, but